Catus Maximus here, this time with the infamous Black & Decker number 757 half-inch D-handle drill. So over the decades, the really big competition for these style heavy-duty half-inch D-handle drills was between Milwaukee and Black & Decker. For the longest time, the Milwaukees were 4.5 amp motors, where the Black & Decker had the 5.2 amp motors. In that era, Black & Decker was the better quality one. Nowadays, Black & Decker doesn't even make any tools anywhere like, well, they make tools like this, but definitely not quite this level of build quality. Where Milwaukee still has their D-handle drills, and they're up to only 7 amp motors, so 5.2 really isn't that much of a difference. Triple gear reduction, 450 RPM. It has one of the earliest forms of these slider reversing switches here. You'll find these commonly on like Milwaukee, whole hogs, and those kind of really heavy-duty tools. It's a very heavy-duty positive detonant trigger switch. It's a little hard to see inside the motor there. I'll have to do another like teardown review at some point, but it has an extremely heavy-duty motor that's welded contacts and has wrapping around all the wires, so the front half of the armature doesn't have any exposed wires. You can dump sand and rocks into it. It has wrapped field. So definitely made to stand the test of time, and I was really happy to find one in such nice condition here. Yeah, it's a little used, but this, for this kind of tool, is definitely excellent condition. It's very heavy duty. The side handles actually go into steel inserts, which have a larger diameter, and then those are threaded into the cast aluminum gearbox, so you're less, if you strip it out, you're not stripping out the aluminum, you're stripping out this insert, which can be replaced. The machinist can make a new one. It also has what is known as a key drive chuck. You can see the chuck doesn't just thread on, have a rely on the threads and maybe a lock screw through the center to keep it from unscrewing. It slides down over a taper, and then there's a cross pin here which drives the chuck in the slot. There is indeed a lock screw, but that's just to keep the chuck held down onto the spindle. That's what's known as a key drive chuck, and obviously it's very positive. Whether you're forward or reverse, the chuck will never unscrew or give you any kind of troubles. And it does have the steel collar for the bearing reinforcement. It's a heavy drill. This thing probably weighs 10 pounds, easy. Quite a bit of torque with 5.2 amps and 450 RPM. I always really liked how the Black & Decker really was a more softer and elegant design of the tools. I thought that was one of their biggest selling points, is that they had a good looking tool and it didn't have a lot of like square corners. The ergonomics are on this drill as good as they've ever been on any tool today, quite frankly. So we'll just give it another run here. You can hear a little bit of the sound of the skidding bearing. It's probably the one in the back. Those are, if you ever hear that weird, funny sound, it's usually a dry bearing, and almost always is the one in the back, because it's just, there's not a big reservoir of grease like there is in the gearbox. But this thing is really just runs like a sewing machine. The chuck does look interesting because it's so long having that key drive. Anyway, just wanted to show the Black & Decker 757, and you can't deny even having a model number 757. That's an awesome model number. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Catus Maximus out.